Hello, and welcome to the SPANNFLOWER Channel. I am SPANNFLOWER, and this is the SPANNFLOWER Report. We got a lot to get to today and a little time to get to it. So let me get my glasses on so I can see you all better. You can see me all better. How you all doing today? Now, I'd like to thank all of you all that took the time to comment and press likes to the last video that was done on the channel called Drawn Attacks. We really appreciate that, and so thank you so much for that. Now, this week, we are moving on to a new subject matter. Well, it's not really a new subject matter. It's a subject matter that we talked about 2 weeks ago, and that is Mrs. D.A. Fani Willis of Fulton County. Now, as I said, 2 weeks ago, I did a video outlining the situation that was going on with her personnel, and all of that. And so I'll put the video in the description area so you all can go back and take a look, or you can look at it on the channel. But I'm just going to try to catch you up really quickly on what's going on so that we can get to what we really want to talk about today. Okay, so first up, there was a filing by one of the co-defendants in the Trump RICO case, and you know it was Trump and 18 other people in this case that was brought by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, saying that they tried to mess with the elections from 2020, okay? And so they threw a lot of charges on there, so it's a really complex case and all of that. So, okay, we got that. Now, one of the defendants, Mike Roman, his attorney, Ashley Merchant, filed a motion to have District Attorney Fani Willis disqualified and the case dropped against him because she was having an inappropriate affair with her lead counsel, Nathan Wade. So there was a whole hoopla, kerfuffle, and all you want to call it about that. Because people were saying, oh, well, it's not proven, it's not true, it's not documented. And then if you're on the other side of the aisle, oh, yeah, she's corrupt, she's this, she's that. So here on the SPANNFLOWER Channel, we just wanted to report the facts via court filings of what was actually going on, and we did provide that documentation. And so I left it at the entanglement stance from the last video. So now, you know, this video right here, okay, we got the receipts, okay? Ain't no equivocating about what was going on between District Attorney Fani Willis and lead prosecutor Nathan Wade. So, let's get to it. Just the facts. Now, on February the 2nd, Fani Willis was required, she and her paramour, Nathan Wade, were required to respond via written response to the allegations against them. And so, on the wee hours of February 2nd, 2024, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade responded. And multiple news outlets are reporting this. The court documentations, they've been all over the place. So we're going to get our information via ABC. And here is what the documentation said. Take a look at this. Let me know.
District Attorney Fani Willis, who brought this case, has now acknowledged a personal relationship with the prosecutor she hired for the case. Tonight, the DA now arguing there is no reason to disqualify her or her office from prosecuting this case. But what is the future of this case now against the former president? Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, after weeks of mounting questions, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis acknowledging a romantic relationship with a special prosecutor she hired to lead her case against Donald Trump. But in a new court filing, Willis insists her relationship with that prosecutor, Nathan Wade, does not amount to a disqualifying conflict of interest requiring her to recuse herself. Trump and two of his co-defendants have accused Willis of improperly benefiting from hiring Wade, who has been paid $650,000 over 2 years.
The district attorney is totally compromised. The case has to be dropped.
In church last month, Willis suggested Wade was only under scrutiny because he's black.
I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one.
But at the time, Willis did not acknowledge their romance. Today she did. Her court filing included an affidavit from Wade confirming they developed a personal relationship in 2022 after he was hired. Trump and his two co-defendants claim Willis benefited from the money her office paid Wade, saying he had taken her on lavish vacations. But today, Wade insisting the district attorney received no funds or personal financial gain from my position as special prosecutor. David, the big question, what happens if the district attorney is somehow disqualified? Well, a state prosecutor's agency would likely assign the case to a different DA who may or may not go forward. So far, there's no sense that's going to happen, and no sign Fani Willis will recuse herself on her own, David.
So many questions remain. Aaron, thank you. There is news in the federal case involving Donald Trump as well. A federal judge formally postponing his election interference and January 6th case, originally scheduled for March. Judge Tanya Chutkin saying she won't set a new date now until an appeals court weighs in on Trump's claim of presidential immunity. Jury selection was set to begin next week.
Now that the receipts are in, and yes, they were having a love affair during this whole investigation, indictment, whatever the case may be. So now what they're trying to do is salvage the case. And she presented this 176-page document to the courts yesterday outlining, hey, look, we was in a relationship, but hey, listen, everybody does it. Or to what she was telling on the other on the defendant said, the defense saying that they were in personal relationships. Nobody's doing anything about that. Oh, she had something to say about every little thing. All of her attackers, investigators, and all that. She responded to them in this 176-page filing, including she went in on the defense attorney Ashley Merchant. She went in on Trump and his the people that were going against her, trying to get her removed from the case. Oh, she even went in on the whistleblower, which we're going to talk about that in the subsequent video because, oh my goodness. And she went in on the people that subpoenaed her, like Jim Jordan and all these people. So she was just really trying to throw all the kitchen sink at everybody that has something to say about what's going on with her, and said that it doesn't have anything to do with the case and against Donald Trump, and that she shouldn't have to leave her job just because she had an affair with a man that was going through a divorce of 25 years, that divorced his wife, filed for a divorce from his wife one day after he got the job with her. And the fact that they were romantically involved while he was still trying to go through a divorce with his wife, and the fact that he didn't want to have to give up that documentation to say how much money he was going to get to his wife, which is how this whole thing started in the first place. So again, I'm going to ask this question. Was it worth it? And we got the receipts. Okay, so Ms. Willis also had a lot of other things to say to defend herself in the face of all of this, what's going on, which I don't feel that she is in a world of trouble down there. And as I had stated in the last video, it is not about her and Nathan Wade. That was just the opening of the door to investigate her, Nathan Wade, and the taxpayers' money. So let's just clear that up right now. Let's just stop talking about, oh, she can do whatever she wants to do in her personal life. She can. He can. But when you start involving monies and all of that, if that accounting isn't right, you're in trouble. So they don't care that she was in a relationship with this man. What they care about, and the thing that could actually hurt her, is if she misused any of the funds or the $650,000 plus that she gave him with his lack of experience to do the job. Now, she said they were not involved until 2022. He was asked to be on the case in 2021. But again, the day after he got the contract, he filed for a divorce from his wife, so of 25 years. So let me know, let me know what you think about that. So here's a couple other things that Ms. Willis had to say to defend herself. And then we're going to listen to that, and then you'll get a chance to put your comments to the comment section and see what you think about that. Here we go.
Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. This is the first time Willis has responded to a motion asking the court to dismiss all charges in the election interference case, accusing the DA of a conflict of interest. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis has spent the afternoon poring over the 176-page response. There's a lot in there, Randy.
There was a lot, Courtney. Yeah, Fani Willis went to great lengths in her response to hopefully to convince Judge Scott McAfee there is no need for a hearing February 15th to decide whether this relationship is fatal to the criminal case. But one defense attorney is already challenging the DA's response. The allegations stem largely from a contentious divorce involving a key prosecutor in the Trump election interference case. Nathan Wade's estranged wife accused him of having an affair with DA Fani Willis, while at the same time Willis paying him $650,000 so far to run point on the high-profile racketeering investigation. Attorneys for Michael Roman, one of the remaining 15 defendants, accused Willis of personally profiting from those payments because Wade paid for their vacations to California and the Caribbean. Two other defendants joined the motion to dismiss the entire case.
The indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump.
But in her response, Willis called the allegations salacious, based on public relations strategy, not legal argument. She included a sworn statement from Wade, the first time he's talked under oath about the allegations. Wade did admit a personal relationship with Willis, but one that started in 2022, months after he was hired as a special prosecutor. As for the amount of money he's made in the case, Willis explained, quote, Special Prosecutor Wade made much more money than the other special prosecutors, only because Wade did much more work. She included many examples of Wade's legal experience, even pointing out that the defense attorney who filed a motion suggesting he was unqualified actually endorsed him in 2016 when Wade ran for a judgeship, praising his experience. Now, that attorney, Merchant, late today filed a response to Willis challenging the timeline of the DA's admitted relationship with Wade, among other points. At the moment that February 15th hearing is still on, Willis and Wade still subpoenaed to testify.
Well, another judge asked Fani Willis what she was thinking with regard to a different issue, a fundraiser that she held. Obviously, Ashley Merchant's hoping that perhaps this judge might think the same thing about this thing. Yeah,
with Burr Jones, exactly. Another unforced error. Fani Willis has been criticized for having this relationship. But again, it's going to be up to the judge here, not just to decide whether this is a conflict of interest, but whether to even hold the evidentiary hearing, because that could be a far greater impact on the case if Fani Willis is under oath answering questions about this relationship.
All right. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
We'll be watching for it.
Randy, thanks.
That's right. As Randy just mentioned, the U.S. House Judiciary Committee has now subpoenaed Fani Willis.
House Republicans say they want to know whether Willis used grant money meant for an at-risk youth program for unrelated expenses. The committee chairman, Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, says the DA ignored earlier requests to hand over the documents voluntarily.
I'm just going to say, before we move on to the next segment of our video, which is the public opinion section, that this does not look good. In all seriousness, and I know we like the salaciousness of it, and it's just like a what were you thinking moment, but it doesn't look good, because it looks bad as far as her the confidence and her judgment as far as what were you thinking. You know, you didn't respect the personnel that you were going up against to let this type of situation happen. So now the pieces gonna fall where they're gonna fall. Like, hey, you know, I keep telling people, politics is a dirty business. It is a blood sport, and it is not for the faint of heart. And so Miss Fani Willis is going to find that out, and her handlers are going to leave her hanging right in the wind to try to figure this out, okay? It's not pretty, and her handlers are going to leave her hanging in the wind on this one. So we'll see how it all shakes out. And as we get more reporting on this, we will make sure we put it to the channel, because this is a serious matter, and I don't think she took this seriously enough. You prosecuted a former president of the United States, and you treated them like they were scrubs. And now you're going to have to deal with the consequences, because, you know, you talking about taking people's livelihood, their freedom, their money, all of that. and you don't think they're going to fight back, or they're going to care that you were a black woman and all the things that you've been through and all, you can't fall back on that when you're in politics and when you're talking about locking up people and taking their livelihood and all of their money that it costs to run these court cases. Okay, so it's not a pretty thing for Miss Fani Willis right now. They're going to follow the money. Okay, now I'm going to move on to our public opinion section of the video. And boy, do I have questions. Okay, so I just want to say, firstly, do you all think that Miss Fani Willis should step down from prosecuting the Donald Trump case? Do you all feel that she should do that? I'm asking because it's such a distraction at this point, and I don't think that she can get out of. I think the case is just tainted because it's so salacious. It's involving divorce, affairs. It's just all full of intrigue and all of this other stuff that's not about the actual substance of what she was trying to do. So it's farcical at this point, in my opinion, because it's going to be about her and Nathan Wade and not about Donald Trump and the 1918 co-defendants. So what do you all think? Do you think she should step down? Secondly, what do you all think of Nathan Wade? This man has not uttered one sound since all of this happened. And he is at the center of all of this kerfuffle. Because firstly, he didn't want to take care of the business with his wife for 25 years and let this linger on, and then tried to divorce her after he got a new contract and didn't want to tell her about it, haggling with her over the money. Now he's made a mockery of his situation with his wife, his soon-to-be ex-wife, and with Fani Willis, the district attorney. So he has not opened up his mouth to say yeah or nay in any of these situations. He just like, look, I'm not in it. You know, this ain't about me, it's about them. That's how I feel, and I feel like he is the catalyst behind all of this happening. You know, and she had to have known the man was still going through a divorce and doing all of this, and then just the messiness of it all, to leave this hanging during one of the most critical times. These people are not playing. Fani, I'm sorry. They're not playing. You taking all their money, their freedom, all of that, and you tossing it about like, hey, look, I'm Fani, so what you gonna do about it? But no. This ain't over. And it's moved on from you and Nathan Wade now. Now it's about how much money did you pay Nathan and what did you use the money for? And just your whole office finna be on the investigation. Subpoena. Because they're gonna follow the money. And that's all the man had to do, was be fair to whatever his wife had going on with that divorce. Kept that nice and tight. Went on about his business. He could have had his name in lights if the cases were successful and made a buku amount of money. But again, Fani shouldn't allow herself to be in the middle of the situation with him and his wife getting a divorce. It's such a high-profile situation. Now, if it was just like an everyday, ordinary thing, then it wouldn't be an issue. But lights, camera, action, she asked for it. Now she in the starring role. Okay? This is my third question here. Do you feel that Andrea Hastings, who was the divorce lawyer for Jocelyn Wade, who is Nathan Wade's soon-to-be ex-wife, and the defense attorney for Mike Roman, who filed the claim, the claim against to have DA Fani Willis removed from the case and his case dismissed, do you feel that they outfoxed Fani Willis in this court battle? Because they ate her for breakfast, lunch, and dinner as far as the legal portion of it. They ate her breakfast. Because those ladies was out for blood and they went for the jugular, and Fani was just left. She got caught sleeping. Those two lawyers attacked her and they put it on notice, and they got everything that they wanted to get out of this. So I would say those two lady lawyers, and if you watch them in the court proceedings, as I did because they were televised, sharp as a tack. Sharp as a tack. So Fanny, you getting beat on all counts because those lawyers served you up and you got it wasn't pretty the way they handled you. It wasn't pretty. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Post your comments to the comment sections. Do you think that the two lawyers, Hastings and Merchant, outclassed Fani Willis, the DA extraordinaire in Fulton County? Okay. Now, for our last segment, which would you prefer? Which one of these lawyers would you prefer if you needed to represent you? I just want to say, would you prefer Andrea Hastings, the divorce attorney, or would you prefer Ashley Merchant? Which one of these ladies would you prefer? Because they have wreaked havoc. I mean, absolute havoc on Fani Willis. So, it's not pretty. So, post your comments to the comment sections and let me know. As we get more information in about this, we will be talking about it more. And furthermore, once we're going to get into this whistleblower thing, because this is a huge deal, because people this is just going to go all left and sideways away from what it was meant to be. I feel that in order to preserve the case, if it can be preserved, Miss Fani Willis and Mr. Nathan Wade need to exit stage. But if they choose to stay in there and continue to fight another day, this is going to get very, very, very ugly. Okay? So, anyway, that's all I have for today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share these videos. Let everybody know that SPANNFLOWER is here and I'm here for you all. So, thank you so much for taking some time with me today. SPANNFLOWER out.